Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Big Larry Show. Good morning, Kitty. Glad to see you here this morning. Giving some time to let some of the viewers come in. Say good morning to everybody. Morning, baby Jane. Morning, Mike. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get a hold of Nick this weekend and find out what's going on with Nick over there. You know, is he doing morning shows, afternoon shows, or evening shows? He's got to pick one, or I'll just steal all of his viewers. His choice. Yep, so far it's an okay morning. I'm alive, I'm awake. Smoking on my morning painkiller, having me a hot cup of coffee. Couldn't do much better than that. Well, I could, but there's ladies present in this room, so I won't say what I could be doing. Hope everyone's doing okay for Thursday. You know, I usually go every single day and get on, but I've been skipping days here and there, people. Just getting things packed up, getting things moved around, getting rid of the trash. Morning, Jeffrey. Keeping what we need and getting rid of what we don't need. Called my cousin Joe yesterday and told him to come on over here. I want to give him some food. So I gave him a bunch of food. Yeah, I have no idea. I ain't been outside yet, Jeffrey. Wife's saying it's pretty nice out. And I don't know how she's saying it's nice out because on this laptop here, it's telling me it's only 29 degrees out there. Yeah, the temperature says 29. Yeah, you went on the back porch, so you ain't out in the wind or any of that. Yeah, back porch ain't gonna do nothing for you and tell you how cold it is unless the wind's blowing from the other way, baby. The mountains will keep it from hitting the back. Yeah, so she's saying it's a little nippy out there. Yeah, my wife's got to desert me today here shortly. She has a doctor's appointment to go to this morning. She's got to go all the way to London. She has to go see a foot specialist for her diabetes. She rammed her big toe into one of the tables or the door or something she ran it into, and it broke the big toenail off. So she's been taking antibiotics, cleaning it up, but they want her to go see a foot doctor for it, so she goes today. And then I think it's Monday or Tuesday, she's got to go have some x-rays done, or not x-rays, but some kind of diagnostic testing. And I think they're just running the scan and seeing how her sugar's doing and make sure all the organs are working the right way they're supposed to be. In my book, my wife's a yo-yo diabetic. She does a lot up and downs. I mean, she'd be at 400 1 minute, and 5 minutes later, she's sitting at 16. Starting to go into convulsions or seizures or whatever they call them things. She got a candy bar and a couple different sweets in her purse she carries with her 24/7. It's like her life support system. She's got to have it with her. Jeffrey, I think the computer might have froze up on us. It's so cold out. No one's talking to me this morning. Well, viewers are coming in. No one just ain't saying nothing. I got 10 viewers. And 4 names. Miss Kitty, Baby Jane, Mike, and Jeffrey. Them other ones must be Von Hilton's trolls, huh? J-Dubs, you're welcome to join the show, buddy. You don't have to hide behind the back doors. Even though I heard you like the back doors. Morning, Bobcat. Morning, Twin. Yeah, thought it would be a good morning to get on, so I figured I better jump on here, say good morning. You know, Bobcat, I was just sitting here thinking, I wonder who's going to be the first one to say it. And yes, I did take out the Christmas trees. They're still there. That sun was so bright coming in my window yesterday, I couldn't even see the screen. So she just laid another throw quilt over it. It's still there, but she's got the car one up on it too. It's what on it? Oh, Willie. I could look or turn around and look, baby. I mean, I never even paid attention to what it is. Yeah, I think once we get all settled in our new place and everything, I'm gonna black out the windows to dark black curtains for the sun can't shine in. You know, me and the wife talked if I can afford to get a real computer. Since I don't do much walking anymore, I'm pretty close to being home forever until I die. Because, I can't go walking the beaches no more. I could row the beach maybe, but I can't walk the beach. Not yet. We're still looking, Bobcat. I've been looking for over a month now. It's hard to find places down here. I have dropped 3 applications in for the housing projects: Manchester, McKee, and Richmond. Personally, I mean, I really don't want to go to Richmond, but I'll take what I can get. That's a little too big. McKee would be beautiful to go to. It's got 2 or 3 restaurants, 2 gas stations. It's got the doctor's office, welfare department. It ain't got no hospital, but it's real close to I-75 where they can get you up to Richmond within 5-10 minutes. Yeah, I hope we do too, Bobcat. I ain't gonna move until he's got me pretty well out of here, until the judge tells me to leave. Like I said, don't put me wrong. That person calls me today and say we got that place, I'm moving today. VONHELTON will never know. I'll take a picture of this background behind me and leave it behind me. That way, VONHELTON. I don't know. I mean, he's got to be watching some of my shows. He's responded to some of it, so yeah. Vaughn wouldn't check. He don't drive over here. Coming down my road, he'd be lucky he didn't get shot at. A lot of my neighbors don't like him. Starting like with my next door neighbor and her husband. People, I knew he couldn't count money. But, it's so, I don't know. He says I owe him for December, January, February, and March. I owe him 4 months. He must be letting me get off on the turkey month, huh? Because I got news for him. I ain't paid rent since November. I owe him November, December, January, February, March. That's 5 months, Vaughn. 5 times 3, $1,500. He says you owe him a new pickup truck as well, Larry. Yeah, I got a big old pickup truck for him, and it's purple. Ask him if he wants it. I've never had no verbal agreements with him at all, Bobcat. None. And that's what I'm going to tell the judge when I do go in front of her. How did I know who I was supposed to pay the rent to? Millie told me that she wasn't collecting it anymore. Someone would probably contact me and let me know who the rent's going to. If it's going to a real estate company, is it going to Von Hilton, or is it going to Von Hilton's lawyers? No one called me and told me. No one sent me a letter and told me. Von Hilton said he gave me a verbal to move. He put it on YouTube. What makes him think I even seen it? You don't come to collect your rent. What the fuck am I supposed to do with it? Am I supposed to climb in my wheelchair and roll my ass over there and hand it to you? You come and get it. I'm handicapped. I'm going to tell y'all, and I'm clear as day. Someone owes me rent money. I own a piece of property, or I'm collecting. When Alice's rent was due, she got her rent on time. I can get you a hold of Miss Carla. Miss Carla paid her rent on time every month. I paid my rent on time every month. I was right there to collect from Carla, and I write the rent receipt right out in front of her. When you own the properties, you're supposed to go collect the rent, or tell the renters to send it in the mail, or what? How most landlords make agreements with people how to collect their rent. A landlord would directly contacted a renter. Exactly. No contact. None at all. No, and people, he can't say he ain't got my phone number unless he can't remember numbers. He ain't gonna remember my number, but it's right there at his mommy's house. His mommy's got it wrote down 2 or 3 times. So he has no excuse why he didn't call me. He has no excuse that he couldn't drive 3 miles to. Well, see, the kids ain't there, so he don't have to worry about leaving the kids alone, does he? Like he did to go get chocolate donuts and lottery tickets that morning. No, 4 acres. I'm going to hold on to that myself. I'm going to use it to make sure I'm moving right. I'm not moving. I'm paying. I'm going to pay people to move me. Morning, Freddie. Them 3 kids are well off right now. 4 acres. No ifs, ands, and buts. They couldn't thrive at Von Hilton's house. They are thriving now. Their grades are good. They're getting their hair done. They're taking showers every day. They're eating hot meals every day. They have friends. They got a park in the backyard. They have friends, exactly. And to be honest, people, I'm wondering if I have that mistake happening with me right now. Are both of my boys, these 2 boys here, going to be loners? Are they going to stick to themselves because they really ain't got many friends? Maybe 1 or 2 from school. Me growing up, when I got out of school, I went in the house, changed my clothes, and right back out the door, and I'd be out there until the street lights came on. Mom and Dad said the street lights come on, you get your butt home. And literally, I'd be over at all the neighbors' houses, but we don't have many neighbors here. Neighbors I have are in the 60s, 70s, and 80 markers. There ain't no young kids around here. close teenage boy around my kids' age or teenage girl around my boys' age. She's probably 10, 15 miles away somewhere. Maybe I should have never pulled him out of the main city to begin with, but I was tired of Toledo. I wanted to get out of there. I was done with it. Pretty bad when someone smashes out your car window just to take your pool stick. And I could see if it was a real expensive pool stick, like a $5, $10, $15, $20,000 pool stick, but it wasn't. Some little generic $35 pool stick that I bought. And he broke my car window. Cost me more to fix than the fucking pool stick did. Woke up in T-Town one day and every neighbor, the whole block had their car doors all wide open. Someone broke into every one of the cars on the whole block. That's when me and the block started staying awake half the night waiting for them to mess with your car again. I said, forget it. I moved here. People say, well, people break into places down here too. Yeah, you're right. They do. Illegally, I have the legal rights to shoot them down here. Kilroy, you cannot say I stole them because I didn't steal them. They're still on the property. You can't say I stole them because they never left the property. You must be missing some of my videos. Go to last week's video. I told you where all the money's at, Von Hilton. Like I said, they're all still on that property. In the big barn, stall number 3. Tell Vaughn to take a shovel. Stall number 3. There's 4 stalls there. Stall number 3. Start digging. And Vaughn, they're really deep down there because we didn't want you to smell them. We didn't need you to smell the money, so we really buried it really deep. So you get down 5, 6, 7 feet and don't find it, keep going. It's a little deeper. Von Hilton can smell money, people. Yeah, he's like a Superman. He is very truthful, and he can make the storm stop. He can smell money, but he can't smell himself. But we sure can. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why he's being able to smell the money because he's poor. He's been stealing it off of everyone else, starting with his mother and father. Von Hilton, what the most my mother, father, or dad has ever bought me? My stepdad gave me a car that he paid $300 for. That is the most my parents has ever gave me at one time after I turned 16. A $300 car. I'm still rolling along. Good morning, Cooper. Yeah, the well is drying up until he starts digging it out again right there in stall 3. I don't personally, Bobcat, I couldn't tell you. I gave $1,000 for it. That's exactly what I gave $1,000. But, you know, a price is what somebody wants, so it matters what you think about it. Well, yeah, from 0 to 16, my parents took care of my clothing, my food, the whole shooting shabando. But once I told them off and said, F this, I'm moving out, I'm getting my own place and getting a job, fuck school, that's when it was my own fault. I should have kept my mouth shut for another 2 years and let them take care of me. But it didn't work that way. I thought I knew it all. Well, he broke my computer, and he does owe me $1,000 bet. I made a bet with Von Hilton one day. We were both sitting in the house, and he's talking shit about Uncle Little Jim, saying Uncle Jim will never, ever let power of attorney go. And I looked at him, I says, I bet you Jim does let power of attorney go because Jim don't want to be power of attorney. I know that for a proven fact. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Larry. You don't know what you're talking about. Von Hilton, Uncle Jim does not want power of attorney on your mother. You don't know what you're talking about. I looked right at him. I said, you want to bet? Do you want to make $1,000 bet that Uncle Jim does not want power of attorney of your mother? Yeah, I'll make that $1,000 bet. I literally shook his hand. I'm sorry, people. Yeah, and I washed my hand 3 times after that, but I shook his hand. My wife, she can answer that because she was standing right there when it happened. Because she looked at me funny, like, Larry, you already know. Von Hilton, I already knew a week before that James Frost gave power of attorney away. He told the lawyers he didn't want it no more. He told the judges he didn't want it no more. So I immediately won $1,000 as soon as he shook my fucking hand. So I would say he owes me $2,000, but you know, my computer had a lot of shit on it. It had a lot of pictures that I can't replace. There's stuff on that computer that I will never get back off of it. So I think my computer's worth $3,500. So now that makes it $4,500. Yeah, Vaughn does need a caretaker. Yeah, I forgot the pain and suffering. I should get him for that. Man, I've been suffering without that main computer for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Honey, 8 o'clock. Yes, I will, Cartel. Yeah, and it ain't like I'm going to a totally different judge, people. This is the same judge that gave me power of attorney. This is the same judge that told me that they were going to put Alice Hilton in a nursing home if I didn't get power of attorney because Von Hilton could not control it because he wouldn't pay her bills right. Oh, I'm giving the rent money no matter what now. Fuck that. After the way he's slandered me. You know, the judge wants to solve this problem. I got a good way to solve this problem real quick. Real quick. One day, put me and Vaughn both in jail. Same cell. Same cell. Let's see which one comes out the bitch, Vaughn Hilton. You don't own rent money because you never signed a lease. Right. Well, I do to Miss Alice. I mean, I still respect Miss Alice as much as I can, people. I love the woman to death, even though she is gone. Vaughn said he can spend that money that's supposed to be going into Alice's thing. As long as it's on the bills to keep the properties going, yes, he can. He personally cannot spend it for clothing for him, food for him. Do I have a arrest record from Ohio?
No.
Yes.
Good.
I've been arrested in Ohio more than once, more than 5, more than 10, more than 15, maybe even more than 20. But that don't matter. It has nothing to do with this case. Them were domestic violences. Them were where somebody didn't like the way I looked. We went to the park and we duked it out. Someone grabs a hold of my girlfriend's ass and I knocked him on the fucking ground. Them are my domestic violences. I didn't beat on a woman like Vaughn Hilton does. I don't pull guns out on women like Vaughn Hilton does. I've never locked my kids in their bedroom like Vaughn Hilton does. I would never leave my mother laying on the floor at 92 years old like Vaughn Hilton does. I would have never shot at a gray alien like Vaughn does. I would have invited him in and said, hey, let's smoke one of these greens. I would have tried making friends. I ain't trying to make enemies. I'm trying to make friends. Gray aliens, welcome to come to my house. Yeah, I am not a felon, Kilroy. There is no felony on my records at all. I have at least 4 or 5 runaways and probably 15, 20, 25 domestic violences. Domestic violence does not mean on a woman. Have I ever hit a woman in my whole life? I have back smacked one. Because I was on top of her lover beating the shit out of him. Because she was my girlfriend and they were doing the wild thing in my bed. And I walked in. And I grabbed a hold of him and started beating the shit out of him. She come over there and started hitting me on the side of the face. So my hand went straight back and back smacked her. No problem, Kilroy. Yeah, Jones, I think I'd quit that for a while, buddy. It's all up to you. Yeah, so there is no felony. Vaughn Hilton, the judge knows my name. She's ran my name before she gave me power of attorney. You keep saying you don't know why a judge gave it to a felon, a 6th grader. One, I went past the 6th grade, retard. At least I can add money. I don't give a fuck if I went to 1st grade and you went to what? 12th grade, 2 years of college real estate, 2 years in the Marines, 2 years, 5, 10 years in the state government work or whatever. But I'm smarter than you, Vaughn, when it comes to money. Money's not important to you. I got news for everybody. Money is what turns this world. Money and love. You ain't got money, you're going to be like a living on the fucking streets, digging through people's garbage cans to eat. I wish I could get one of them 2 or 3 scumballs to come over here. J-Dubs, Von Hilton. I would like to sit and have a talk with Woody. I wouldn't go down on him or anything. I mean, I'm just going to tell him what the truth is. He can believe Vaughn. He can believe me. I don't care. Yeah, John Way. Otherwise known as John J-Dubs. They're always talking about their big red one and their big green one. And well, I confirmed it yesterday, guys. I got a big purple one. And I guarantee you it's bigger than Vaughn's and J-Dubs put together. My woman likes them big. Not that way. Try again. When I say go down, I mean go down on telling them to fuck off. You like them big too. There you go, Jones. I know. That's fine. I like you know me, guys. I mean, if you guys come to my shows, you all know me. I'm a character. I just because I've seen Woody in 3 or 4 or 5 of Von Hilton's shows, and I just like to let him know the truth. Hell, he don't even have to come in my show. Just make sure someone sends him one. Send him one of my copies of my show and let him watch it. I'm glad Nate's not here right now. His wife would be flipping. This is more than my shoulders. You guys are almost seeing my chest. Larry's sitting straight up. We moved our bedroom. I moved my bedroom around yesterday. Yes, well, I know. And that's why I said I'd like for Woody to come over and, join my show. I figure after I get used to getting on here a lot, I mean, yeah, I know. I've been on here every day for 3.5 months now. I'm talking a year or two like Vaughn did, people. Hopefully I can get another computer. I like to start doing a live show. Um, Holler out to the Geek Room. You guys are doing great. Loved watching your show the other day. Laughed my ass off through some of it. So keep your show up. And, that's kind of what I'd like to do. I'd like to do something like what the Geek Room's doing. Maybe not just trolling people, but just talking about anything and everything. I mean, and I don't want to get stuck on one subject. I don't, if we start talking about Jesus and, God and all them, and I start losing my viewers, I know not to bring that conversation back up. Good morning, Nick. Oh, I'm sorry, Mick. I called you Nick. It's Mick. What, dear? Yeah, I know you don't give a shit. Oh, my viewer. Oh, wait a minute. What happened there? I had 28 and it dropped to 26. I lost 2. Must be J Dubs and Von Hilton both leaving. Yep. Von Hilton, you cannot get me for stealing your mom's money because the money never left the property. Stall number 3, buddy. Grab a shovel. We'll talk about it later, Jones. Von Hilton says that Andrea had a lot of money when she got there. She didn't have a lot. She had a little bit. She was okay. She was set for a little bit. She wasn't there 1 week. And he took her out and bought himself a brand spanking new black computer. Turned around and got herself a brand new black computer. So Vaughn's white computer and screen and everything is out in the shed. When someone said maybe Jerry is slapping some checks. I don't know. Yeah, Vaughn has a cologne. Yep. If he's saying Jerry is his clone, he must mean mentally and physically, right? My kids look like me too. Sorry, Von Hilton, that's how it works. Oh, I don't even know it isn't Shane. Wasn't that Shane or Sean or something like that? Never met the kid. I feel sorry for him if, you know, he's got Von Hilton as a father. But I knew Miss Alice was sending monthly checks out to their paying Vaughn's child support. And I asked her one day, why are you paying his child support for? She goes, for he don't go to jail. I don't want my son to go to jail. Yeah, exactly, Bobcat. I notice I smoke more when I'm sitting here on this computer than I do when I'm not on the computer. I think it's just bored and usually having my fingers doing something, hitting these keyboards when I'm playing the game. No. Well, I didn't really know her before she came back to Kentucky. I didn't meet, well, not that I can remember, should I say. Because I've only made maybe 3 trips to Hamilton, Ohio when I was a little boy. Did I meet Alice then? Possibility, but I wouldn't remember her. Of course, I knew my father, and of course, I definitely knew who my grandfather and grandmothers were. Out of my grandfather's brothers and sisters, the first one I met was Aunt Sophie. And she lived, nope, nope, nope. Let me take that back. Uncle Little Jim would have been the first one I met. Because I was 7 years old and he fell asleep at the wheel and he hit a telephone pole. We were on our way to go fishing. Second one I met would have been Aunt Sophie, Orlando, Florida. Then it would be Miss Alice. It'd been Miss Alice at the family reunion where I met Art, I met Floyd, I met Hazel. I already knew Sophie, Elsie. Call from Moorhead, KY. 3 months later, Uncle Art died. Call from Moorhead, KY. Leave a message. Hello. Are you there? But I knew that they were all up in age, so I got lucky just to see them before they passed. I mean, like I said, Uncle Art died 2 months after I first met him. And I did take pictures of it, of meeting him at that family reunion. Now, I have pictures from every family reunion I've been to through the Frost family. I don't think he did drink or drugs, to be honest. But I don't know. I mean, Ronnie Ray would know that more than I would probably. Because, Ronnie Ray grew up in Hamilton, Ohio, right there where Vaughn lived too. So, and they have to be visiting each other, hanging out at each other's, and, me, I was a heavy drinker. I loved to drink. I loved to party, period. Honey, did you pick that number up for Daniel Boone?
No. I didn't move it.
Yeah, I don't believe that one bit. It's got to be. Oh, finish breakfast. I didn't know you were eating breakfast still, baby. Yeah, but he won't come and face me one-on-one there, Bobcat. Yep, won't face me one-on-one. Yeah, if he took on 6 guys, he must be kind of confused. They might be guys in his eyes, but they were probably 5 and 6-year-old boys. I got it, woman. All I need now is the phone. I just want to find out exactly what time they're going to be here to pick you up. I'm going to mute you guys a few minutes. Okay, people, I'm back. Do you want this number back, or you want me to hold on to it for a little longer? Okay. And you got 2 others going with you. Are you going to take a little bag, maybe a sandwich and a pop with you, or?
Yeah.
Hold on, people. And say if you want, you take a couple dollars with you, or you can stop and eat somewhere.
Well, if I do that, I'm gonna feel funny eating.
Well, they might stop to eat somewhere. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're diabetic. You got to make sure you eat at 1 o'clock. You take your shot at 1 o'clock.
I know that.
I don't give a shit that driver's got to pull over for you to take that shot. You should be just coming out of the doctor's office by 1 o'clock. Your appointment's at 12:15. Sorry, people. I'm just trying to make sure we get everything took care of today. Morning, Brian. I'd probably make a sandwich or two. Do you want to use the lunch pail?
Yeah.
I can clean it out for you.
No. I got baby.
I say, you know what the lunch pail is, right?
Yeah, your medicine baby.
Yeah, the thing I threw all the medicines in.
I got it.
Okay. And take at least one pop, if not two.
Okay.
That's one going there if you feel low, and one coming home if you feel low. I already asked them if you're allowed to, when they're transporting you, if you're allowed to eat and drink in there. They said only if she's diabetic, and I was like, she definitely is. She a yo-yo diabetic. Hell, you can get in that van at 300 and 5 minutes later be at 18. Good question, Brian. I like that question. Will Jerry ever be able to live alone, or will he be just dependent on someone the rest of his life? Personally, I could not answer it. I can't tell you either way. I can tell you one good thing. If Von Helton still was raising Jerry, Jerry would never have a chance. With parents that care, parents that's showing him love, parents that's helping him do the schooling and getting things done, and teaching him how to bath and teaching him how to draw and write his name and all that, Jerry could end up being smarter than Von Hilton himself. I think Jerry really could. People say he's autistic. So what? My son's autistic, and he got a full scholarship. You know, Von Hilton's still saying I stole money for him kid to go to college. When there's a scholarship, it shows it right on fucking Facebook. All he has to do is punch in 2020 graduation class, Clay County, Kentucky, and they will show him the video. Watch the video, Vaughn. Larry's in it. Larry's definitely in it. He was called to the stage and got his diploma and his free ride to college. And if I'm stealing your money, why did he take a free ride? Am I paying his rent? Am I paying for his food? Well, if I am, I'll tell financial aid to send you the bill, okay? So, Brian, in your question, I would say I think Jerry could be able to take care of himself. I don't know. I'd have to meet Jerry once he's 15, 16, 17 years old and see how his mind really works. Then by then you should know if he's going to be capable of living on his own or not. If he grew up like Von Helton, if he grew up not knowing his math, then he might have to have somebody living with him to pay the bills. Even though Jerry will get a check, but Jerry won't know how to spend the money. He'll be like a Von Hilton and go buy little cars with it instead of taking care of the rent or the lights or the water or the telephone, the cable, the car payments, food in your mouth. One hour, 30 viewers, 12 thumbs up. Y'all know I love getting on here in the mornings and doing a morning show. Gives me something to do, makes me wake up, have my coffee, and sit and talk to my friends. You know, I consider each and every one of you a friend. Yeah, I thought I heard last week that Nick Bravo says he wasn't doing videos no more. But when I scanned it this morning, it showed me he did one yesterday. Morning Queen. Glad to see you're awake and moving around. Yeah, he did his own live stream yesterday's and what I seen. I didn't see him in no one else's. I seen him do his own. Which I mean, I don't care who goes live. I mean, do it whatever you got to do. I don't want to get on at 8 o'clock in the morning and he gets on at 8 in the morning because someone's gonna miss one of the shows. I don't want him stealing my viewers, but I don't want him to steal his neither. You know, I had that problem when I first started getting on here and just learning how to get on here. Because there'd be some other shows going on, like Reverend Shandy be doing a show, and then Grampy Lobster be on there. Then Solar Opinion was on there. So, I mean, like, which one do I watch? Which one's going to be more interested in? Everybody knows kind of who I stuck with. Mr. Lobster. And Seckler, I did watch most of Seckler's are late nights though, so that makes it good. 90% of his shows I catch the next day. Yeah, I would say I did over a 6 hour yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it Tuesday? I don't even remember. No, it was Tuesday, wasn't it? I don't know. I'm losing days, people. I'm getting old. That old timer's catching up with me. Yeah. Yeah, I try to go to whoever's the most interesting. Something, I mean, if people's talking about someone's butt hurting, or this guy over here is talking about NASCAR and this one's talking about football, I'm definitely going to go to the football or the NASCAR one, something that I'm interested in. And which one am I interested in? It matters what teams we're talking about. It matters what drivers we're talking about. I'd be into both of them shows. You know, but I don't want to do no shows that's going to get me black flagged neither, people. So me and my co-host, whoever we get as co-hosts, are going to have to realize Larry does not want to be black flagged. I do not want to be kicked out of here. I have no idea what other stations there is. I know anything. The only thing I know is YouTube, Facebook, Google, and now I know StreamYard. Yeah, well, I've heard that too, Queen. But you can send a response back to me. They're both stupid as shit because Larry don't even eat pizza. I don't eat pizza no more, people. I ain't ate pizzas in years. I think I had one slice of my wife's pizza a few months back. I cannot eat pizza. It causes bad heartburn. So when it comes to pizzas, when the kids eat the pizzas, I order a Philly steak and cheese, mushrooms, mayonnaise, and tomato. Could I eat four of them? No. I don't even finish one. So J Dubs and Von Hilton, grow up. Grow up, little boys. And if you don't believe me, I can show the half a sub that's still in there from the other day. If my college boy ain't stole it, because that's usually what happens to him. I eat half and wait until later and eat the other half, and the boy sees it and says, Dad, can I have it? Go ahead, kid. There's Nate. I was talking to you earlier, Nate. I was hoping you and your wife wasn't here yet. Morning, Cindy Sue. Vaughn is building himself a nice house and a video game. Yeah, too bad he couldn't do it in real life, huh? Is ask him if he's moving into it. Yes, sir.
Ask Cindy Sue, has she seen the Grinch lately?
Cindy Sue, my wife wants to know, have you seen the Grinch lately? Well, yeah, Queen. I think he believes that I bought the U.S. mints too. To be honest with you,
I guess we're rich, huh, Dad?
we're rich millionaires. If I owned the Pennsylvania Mint, people, I'd be living in a castle in Pennsylvania. Yes, please.
Did Cindy Sue answer?
No, no, Cindy Sue. She must not took it as a joke. She might not even heard me, honey. She might have just said good morning and went somewhere else.
Oh, well.
Some people do that.
I asked her that because that was her name, and
I know. I caught it as soon as you said it. Maybe she's never seen the movie and she didn't understand it. I mean, some people don't watch that kind of shows.
I know. Making it fun.
I know you're trying to make it funny.
Didn't mean to hurt her feelings or whatever, but
Well, I don't think you hurt her feelings, honey.
you're right. She probably didn't see it.
No. She wouldn't see it. You mean she wouldn't hear it?
Here, see it, whatever.
Yeah, he paid for it with his daddy's money. Yeah, he literally thinks his dad had 3 bank accounts with $2 million apiece in them. I want to know where the money came from because he sure didn't make that making doors. He didn't get that from the army. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Kitty. We'll pray for you.
What? What happened?
She's not feeling good today.
Oh,
She says she's listening. She just ain't talking much today.
I'll pray for her.
Wife said she'll pray for you too. All Larry has left to do is choose between Hawaii and Florida as a retirement home. Yep. The wife wants to hit the Cuban Islands first. She might even want to live there.
I want to go make it. Make it.
Yeah, exactly. And his daddy still got one more. His daddy had 3 of them, he says. He got one, I got one, and there's still one there. Nope, there ain't one there, Von Hilton. Larry took 2. Yes, I know, Cindy Sue. My wife made a joke on you, Cindy Sue, and she was asking me for the response, and I told her you didn't respond. You're probably busy. You know the name Cindy Sue?
Cindy Lou.
She no, Cindy Sue.
Okay. Okay, maybe I'm.
You must have heard me say it wrong.
Yeah. Well,
She thought I said Cindy Lou.
that'll
It's
work too.
Cindy Sue.
That'll work too.
Because she heard me say your name and say good morning to you, and she asked me if you've seen the Grinch lately. She thought I said Cindy Lou, you know, the one that plays in that little girl that plays on the Grinch.
Yeah. Sounded like.
Yeah, well, I hope you all know, really, if I had that kind of money, I sure in the hell would not be sitting in this trailer right now. Cindy Sue said, "Hi, Mrs. Larry." And
Hi.
then she just said, "I get it."
Okay. Not mad.
No, she's not mad at you.
Okay.
She's probably laughing.
Well, it meant to be a laugh.
I know, it's a laugher. Yeah, we don't take shit serious on here, honey.
You know, some people do. And just.
Yeah, exactly, Queen. As soon as I see yeah, Cindy Sue said, yes, I'm laughing.
Oh, I'm glad you're not crying.
Name my yacht after Vaughn. What, Stinky? I don't think the boat Stinky would be a good name for a boat.
I don't think so either.
It would sink. Yeah, exactly. E Stinko. Yeah, exactly. Vaughn can't swim. Well, sorry about his luck. Fresh cup of mud.
Yeah.
How you have been getting how have you been getting around, Larry? I ain't, Nate. I roll my big fat ass up out of this bed right into my wheelchair and I wheelchair myself out of here. When I get to the stairway, I have to try to stand up and go down 4 steps. And by the time I get to the bottom of the 4 steps, they have my wheelchair down in there and put me in my wheelchair again. I wouldn't leave my mother on the floor for more than 5 seconds. Let's be real on that, people. And I don't give a shit if my mom's 45 or 85. Hell, I barely leave the house anymore, people. Doctor's appointments, about right. Everything else, the wife takes care of. That's why I say I got one hell of a wife. Me and her's been helping each other out for the last 21 years. Yeah, you know something, Queen? I've never heard of nothing. What happened to that? I have no idea. I'd love to know. I mean, maybe I should call around and find out what happened in that case because I ain't never heard nothing about it. I also want to make sure that it's now legal that I can literally now put my videos out there because I got a lot of videos I'm going to clip all together and we're going to make a movie. Yeah. You know, I'm kind of upset, hurting, mad that, my legs are finally giving out on me. But at least I'm still alive. That's a good thing in my book because the doctor says he don't even know how I survived through the heart surgery. He don't even know how I even made it to the heart surgery. I should have been gone already. Good morning, Toby. Yeah, exactly, Bobcat. Toby, I'm still trying to learn how. My son says that something about I had to go over somewhere and grab it and bring it over. He's supposed to be trying to set it up. Ain't there a way that you can set that thing up? Where'd you find that at?
Right here. Then by the towels.
What is that?
Cigarette that he was laying on.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something else.
No, it's not that.
And that's what, yeah, I was say I thought it was this.
His other half.
Okay.
This is me. Yeah, that. I mean, the white band.
Tree workers.
Yeah. Tree workers.
Cindy Sue, you're the second one to talk about it. Yeah, well, the first one is still there. The sun got too bright yesterday, shining in the window. I couldn't see my screen. So my wife threw a second throw blanket over it. So, yes, there is a new throw blanket up. Yeah, once we go and start doing the real shows and stuff, I'll probably have black curtains up. We do have one set of black curtains right now. And my boy's using them to black out his room. But hell, he's gone 8 months out of the year, so it ain't gonna hurt to switch, curtains on his ass. Take his and give him mine. We have regular curtains for the windows, and we don't just use blankets. We do have curtains for them, but mine were white, and the sun just comes right in it. They're like see-through whites. Yep. Yeah, I'd love to go fishing again. That's what I miss. Everyone asks me, "What do you miss about Ohio?" I miss the fishing. I literally miss the real fishing because, like I said, I lived on the Maumee River, and once a year, fish come up that Maumee River to lay their eggs, like the walleyes, like the bass. And it ain't nothing for me and somebody else to go out and catch 180 fish in 3-4 hours. 180 fish, white bass, all 1 to 3 pounders. That's enough fish to feed me the rest of the year. It takes you more time to clean them and gut them than it did to catch them. We found that out once. Me and my father went 4 hours. We brought home 187 fish. It took us over 7.5 hours to clean them all. Yeah, that's a lot of fish, exactly. And that's just in one day. That ain't a whole week or 2-3 weeks. That's one day. They're spawning. They're coming up there with their eggs. They're hungry. They want to eat, lay their eggs, and get back out in the ocean. Or the lakes, as we call them, the Great Lakes. We can get some perch that way too, but we always found out going out by the water intake, that is a great place for the perch. We used to go out there and catch 150, 200 of them in a day. I like perch as a food eating wise, but they're so small. You got to have 10 or 12 of them to make one meal. It ain't like two bass, maybe a catfish or two catfishes. Now, salmon, I can feed a whole family with salmon twice. If you got the right size salmon. Yeah, exactly. Call it catfish bait. Speaking of catfish bait, what does everybody use for catfish bait? Me, I grew up using worms. Night crawlers, as we call them. Walleye's very good fish to eat. I think you're only allowed 6 of them a day now. Chicken liver is also used for catfish, yes. When I moved down here, you know what they were using for catfish bait? They were taking little hot dogs, pieces of hot dogs, dropping them in red cherry Kool-Aid and letting them turn red, and then putting them on the hook and catching catfish with them. I've never used corn for catfish, but I've used the gizzards. Hell, I've used live bluegill. It matters what size catfish you're really going for. Me and Ronnie Ray, we went to one of them paid lakes where, yeah, I think it was like $10 to get in, and then they got a bucket over on the side that everybody, if you want in it, you like throw. I don't remember, was it $1 or $5? It could have even been 10. I don't remember. And everybody would throw their money in that bucket, and the biggest fish caught within the 24-hour period wins the bucket. Yeah, crickets. Now, see, I've always used like crickets and minnows for bass. Hot dog soaked in Kool-Aid. Yep, exactly. That's what they used down here when I first moved here. You got to remember a catfish is a bottom dweller. They like everything on the bottom. They eat all that garbage. Yeah, me neither, Queen. Honey, you got 1 hour.
I know, 1 hour. I heard you.
You working on Louie?
Yeah, I do.
I say he's the only one you really got to worry about. Larry can do it himself. Well, Arnold could have too if you had eggs here.
Yeah, but I don't.
Eggs and milk. Well, you could have had cereal.
I know. I'm making him a stroll.
You're doing a toaster strudel for him?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yes, they are 4 acres. Hour and a half, 35 people. I went up 5.5 hours. I'm doing good. 15 thumbs up. Hope everybody's doing good today. I hope everyone's feeling okay. Got a couple of you down sick, but we'll pray for you. Hope you get better. My wife's getting ready to go to the doctor's. I'm still in the same old house. I'm still in Von Hilton's house. Rent strike is still on. Salmon's real good. I appreciate it there, 1234. Catfish would eat Vaughn like piranha, yeah. Yeah, you got to definitely get it out of a clean body of water. Best way to get catfish is you get them home raised ones right now because, nowadays, now that the world has got older, as I could say, we have learned a lot more, and we are literally, if we can put them in a pond and raise them, that's how they're doing it. I mean, there are some fish that you cannot put in a pond and raise, starting with salmon. They literally go out, way out, for 4 years, and then after 4 years, they come back, they lay their eggs and die. Yes, a lot of people do that simple or sample. Yeah, a lot of people are they're making places to raise fish at nowadays. The wild game and life preserves has places that are doing that. That's how come they're able to come through the state of Kentucky and drop off 10,000 rainbow trout in about 15 or 20 of the creeks.
There was a big old bird in our yard.
Yeah,
It looked like a vulture, but it wasn't that big.
yes, there is smoked tuna, and it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You're making your sandwiches. Okay. What kind are you making? Meat and cheese, or are you going to do peanut butter and jelly?
Peanut butter and jelly. We don't have meat and cheese. You ate them all last
I
night.
didn't eat all the meat last night. Is it gone?
Hold on, let me see.
You might have put it on my dinner plate. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It's not in here, baby. Wait a minute. I had to take that. No, we don't see it. I think I gave it to you last night for dinner.
Okay, honey. Don't worry about it. Yeah, well, if you don't like it the first time, try somewhere else again, a couple weeks, couple months down the road, Queen. Because a lot of people make it a lot of different ways. I mean, like, there's people that cook that don't know how to cook. They don't have the right seasonings. They don't do something right. You know what I mean? Every cook is different. I've had people say they didn't like deer meat, but they've come to my house and I've fed them deer meat. And she was wanting seconds and thirds. Told her it was Bambi, and she told me I was lying. Good morning, man with a pan. Yeah, definitely. That's perfect for me too. Yeah, it does make a big difference by the seasonings and what you're using it, what meat you're using. That girl could have been eating 8 and 10-year-old deer, and I'm eating a 3-year-old deer. The meat taste is different. Yeah, a lot of chefs can't. I mean, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that, I could go out there and wow the judges because I ain't all that. But guess what? My food's eatable. It's got taste. Yeah, it is. It goes by how old it is, how hard the meat is. I mean, you wouldn't think so, Queen, but it is. Take a 4-year-old cow and have him slaughtered, and take a 1-year-old cow and have it slaughtered. Taste the difference in the meat. Some of the best cooks are everyday people. Everybody has their own opinion. I think the best cook in the world was my grandmother. Sorry, everybody. I just loved her food. Beef and pork tastes different by their ages. Yeah, you got to cook with the love. You got to have that love in it. I think that's why grandma's was always so good because she definitely threw a lot of love in it. You know, one thing I loved about grandma is when she said it was lunchtime, it wasn't just a bologna sandwich and a bag of chips sitting on the table, people. Her lunches were 7 and 9 courses at a time. Her breakfasts were 9 courses. Her dinners were 8 or 9 courses. When I say courses, I mean there's 8 or 9 different things on the table to eat. I mean, breakfast, biscuits and gravy. There's eggs, there's bacon, there's sausage, there's apples, there's peaches, there's what you name it. She had it on that, table. Me cooking chili takes me about 40 minutes. It takes me about 6 to 8 hours to cook chili. Yes, honey, I see what you're taking. Chili is one of them foods, the longer it cooks, the better it is. Spaghetti is the exact same way because of the sauce. The longer the sauce cooks, the better it is. Tell you the truth, I like spaghetti on the second day better than I do the first day. And we've known to do that. I'd cook the sauce all day, let it cool off, get it all in the refrigerator, let it sit overnight, wake up in the morning and start it again. By the time 6 o'clock rolls around dinner time, that stuff is ready. Yeah, with homemade cornbread, exactly. Well, I like a lot of different things in my chili. I like cornbread. I put some of that cheese in it. Sometimes I might put sour cream on top, some crackers. Okay, mountain man. Or mountain with the plan. Morning, Chewy Louie. Yes, I mean, that's me. Spaghetti is always better on the second day in my book. You like butter and crackers in your chili? Yep. I even thought about doing a cooking show at one time. Get me a couple cameras, get them set up, get them lined up where I can go in there and record me doing a cooking show kind of deal. But the only one I would really know to do the best would be the chili and the meatballs. I mean, I've did a lot of different kinds of meatloaf too. I've made meatloaf with green beans in the middle. We've made meatloaf with broccoli and cheese in the middle. Mushroom soup in the middle. What other ones we did with the meatloaf, baby? I mean, we've did a lot of things. Brussels sprouts in the middle of the meatloaf. Cool. That is real cool, man. Have a plan. That is that's a 2 3 day job right there. If you're doing it right. I mean, if you're roasting in an open fire, you might be having it done all day today. Maybe getting close to being done.
You thinking maybe
Me, I like to have them smoked. I liked it, Queen. I liked it. My wife ain't too much on the green bean one because she ain't too hot on green beans. I just think I ain't made them good enough for her yet. Because, like I said, she told me she hates Brussels sprouts to the passion. She literally would not let me cook them in the house for over 10 years.
I didn't say I hated them.
I had to go to the restaurants to eat them. She didn't like the smell of cabbage cooking in her house. And as everyone knows, Brussels sprouts are cabbage. It's a cabbage family. I conned her into letting me do it one day, and she watched me do it. She asked me, "Can I try one?" Yeah, go ahead, baby. But you know, them are the Brussels sprouts that you don't like. Yeah, I know. She finished the bowl. And now I buy 3 or 4 bags a month. She makes them every day until they're gone. Well, yeah, you like layer it out there. You put the meat on the bottom, layer it in the middle. I'm gonna say the Brussels sprouts and um, cheddar cheese went real good in a meatloaf. I thought it stood out real good. But I mean, you could use almost anything in the middle. You can use all different kinds of cheeses. I use the can that's all creamy ones. I mean, you could literally probably cut the Velveeta in slices and put layer them onto the meatloaf. Just leave little spots for the grease to go down. Yeah, I love cabbage. Blue's gonna send you to jail. He's turning into a Vaughn. Good morning, Nick Bravo. Nick, I wouldn't worry about Blue at all. Blue's having a problem. I don't know if you heard what happened over here. He got a wrench. He's the quickest wrench I've ever took. He got it within 5 seconds. He banded somebody twice, and I took his wrench back. Now I love them, Miss Kitty. I love cabbage rolls. Yeah, and I love broccoli, cauliflower too. I mean, I could eat any one of them. Some people don't like what do they call them things? Asparagus. I like them. They're pretty good to me. Blue and black onion are after Nick. Blue doesn't like liars like Nick. Morning, Todd. Well, personally, I don't care who helped Von Hilton get the second will. The second will screwed him worse than the first will did. Honestly, people, think about that real closely now. The first will would have gave him a place over his head. It secured his roof over his head. It secured his light bill being paid every single month from that 250 that he's got coming in. The second will, since all that stops, now that the second will's in that Vaughn turned in, Vaughn takes care of it all. Remember? Well, now Vaughn's got to take all that money he's got sitting in that account and pay the bills every single month on time. Vaughn has to pay the lawn care service. Vaughn has to do this. Vaughn has to do that. Y'all know, and I know, Vaughn's not going to do it. These properties by December 31st of 2023 will be all up for sale. Vaughn is going to sell them out as cheap as he can. Well, he's going to try to say they're all worth $1 million a piece, but I'll tell you, none of them are. And he's going to sell them is what he can get out of them. And then he's going to spend that money. Then he's going to sell the next property and then spend that money. And sooner or later, he's going to get down to his own home. December 31st, 2024, Vaughn Hilton is homeless. He was here a second ago, it said. Well, yeah, I don't like Blue coming into my station and trying to throw people out neither. Yeah. So really, I think that second will screwed him more than the first will did. Sure, he did get all the money released to him and all the properties, but he don't know how to maintain it. Somebody was maintaining it. Why would you stop him from maintaining it? Because you want all the money right now. You don't want to collect it $250 a month at a time. Vaughn, you're going to burn through it within the year and a half, which you could have lived that way till your kids became 21 years old and they took over. Then you and all your 3 children would have been sitting real purty because there'd been a lot of money put away because all the houses would be fixed. They'd all be collecting rent. But because you're now running it, none of them are going to get fixed, and you're gonna collect no rent from none of them. The second will, if his guys are the one that gave him the will, he better go talk to his guys because they screwed him without the Vaseline. Oh, Nick's never blocked no one. I never gave Nick a wrench. But I did get Blue one. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to get off here, spend a half hour with the wife, and make sure everything's ready to go for her morning doctor's appointment and send her on her way. I might do a double shot Thursday today. While she's gone, I might get back on here. That way I can spend a little time with her before she leaves. Come back. I'm going to try. Like I said, she's going to be leaving in a half hour. Let me spend a half hour with her. Spend some time with her, and then it's just me and the boys here, so. And they don't bother me. They're in their rooms playing their games, so I'll probably get back on. Later, all. Peace out.